Hello, I'm Jeff Myers, and welcome to Elgin Today. On this edition,
on Tuesday, July 18th, big-time bike races returned to Elgin and pedaled their way through the Northeast neighborhood. It was the Dennis Jors Memorial Race, and we will talk with Julia McClendon Jors on what the day meant to her and to the Jors family. Saturday, September 23rd, it will be time for the 9th annual Elgin Short Film Festival, and that'll be taking place at the Hemmons Cultural Center. We'll talk it over with the co-chair, Joe Vasallo, about this great event. The Mayor David Captain segment takes us on a beautiful day to the Fox River, as the mayor and guest Kyla Jacobson of the City of Elgin's Water Department talk about the past and future of the Fox River. It's the 36th annual Historic Elgin House Tour, slated for September 9th and 10th. A highlight this year, the Great Wing Mansion, but also the McClure Mansion and the McClure Family Farm, slated for this year's tour.
We'll have these stories and more on this edition of Elgin Today.
We open with big-time bicycle racing returning to Elgin on Tuesday, July 18th, as the Dennis Jors Memorial Race took place in the northeast neighborhood of Elgin. We will hear from Councilmember John Steffen and from an Elgin dad and two members of his family in just a moment. But first, the CEO of the Elgin YWCA tells us what this day meant to her.
Hi, my name is Julia McClendon Jors, and my husband is Dennis Jors, who died 2 years ago in a tragic accident when somebody failed to yield at a stop sign. And he had been the race director for this event for several years before, and they're honoring him by bringing it back. The Nina neighborhood is sponsoring it. And so then these kids are all from the YWCA and the Nina neighborhood. And today they go through a safety talk, and then they get to ride a bike through and drill it. I think it's called bike drills. These kids all helped me yesterday stuff bags for the volunteers and for this event, so I couldn't imagine them not being here as part of it. My husband, with his death, we decided as a family that we really wanted to emphasize the safety portion. And this is one of the starting steps, is to teach children about safety. Make sure they have helmets. Make sure that they know about when they're riding a bike in their neighborhood, that it's actually more dangerous because people back out of their driveways. And quite often the parent doesn't have a helmet for the kids. So we're going to make it a year-long mission to try to get more and more helmets. Today, AAA donated 10 children's helmets for this event that we'll be giving away to kids who need helmets. One of our kids told me yesterday, well, Miss Julia, he said, my helmet, I just can't wear it anymore. And I said, is it because your head grew? I said, that's a good thing. And so he said, do you think I might get a helmet tomorrow? I said, we're going to work on that.
My name is Peter Talbert, and I live here in Elgin. And this is my son, Sebastian, and Chloe is my daughter. And we're out here enjoying the race.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes, we love seeing outdoor sports and great competition in professional sports, and we hope more comes to Elgin.
Well, this is in your backyard, so this is fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right down the street. It's in the same neighborhood we live in. Every day we come and go, and we enjoy these kind of things.
Well, great. Well, appreciate that. How long have you lived in Elgin?
I lived in Elgin now about eight years.
And you enjoy the city, don't you?
Yeah, we love the city. We love the trees, the beauty of each architecture that it brings. We love the people.
John Steffen, this is a great day for Elgin.
I think it is, yeah. We're excited to have bike racing back in Elgin. It's been 8 years since the last time we tried this. And it's kind of a sad day in a way, too, because we're doing this in honor of somebody that I worked with, Dennis Jors, who had a crash with a car and was killed. So we're trying to do something in honor of him, too.
It's great for the neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's a great showcase for the neighborhood. We're learning. We're working through a lot of issues that have arisen, and we're just going to make it better every year, I think.
5.73 kilometers through the neighborhood. That's a lot of territory.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of hills. The bikers know this course. We've had it on other races in the past. it was an easy sell for them. I think we're going to get a great turnout for a first year, and it's just going to grow from there.
You mentioned Dennis Jors. There's a Dennis Jors law for bicyclists now, isn't there?
Yes, that was one of the good results out of this tragedy. Was we got a clarification in the law. Bikers have the same rights as vehicles, as motor vehicles, and we felt we had to do that just because of something that happened in his case. So it was a good result.
We travel from the Dennis Jors Memorial Bike Race to right outside Hemmons, and the Cultural Center will be host for the Elgin Short Film Festival in September. We're excited, Joe Vasallo.
We are. The film festival will be on September 23rd. It's our 9th year, and we're really excited about this year's production.
You are the official co-chair along with Rick Jacobs.
Yes, I've been co-chair for 7 years now, and this is just such a fun project. It's hard to not do it.
Before we talk deadlines here in the month of August, and now the movies themselves are 20 minutes, including
We are a short film festival,
Yeah.
yes. So all the films are 20 minutes or less, including credits, and we have 2 categories. It's live action, which could be a drama, could be a documentary, could be whatever, and animated category. So we have 2 categories.
And let's talk about the cost. Folks want to get involved. They come from, a lot of the films come from Columbia College, but from our area as well.
Columbia College, actually, lately we've had a lot of films come in from DePaul University. Their program is really becoming a big hit here in the Film Fest. For us, the deadline is August 25th, and that cost is $50.
And you can go right up on your website.
You can go on the website. You can also catch us at filmfreeway.com, which is a filmmaker's paradise for submitting to film fests around the world.
All the rules and regulations are right there.
All the rules, regulations are there or on the website.
And we always encourage folks from Elgin to participate.
Absolutely. We really want people from Elgin to participate. It's always nice to see parts of Elgin on the big screen here when we get that opportunity.
A quick note, you always get help from Beacon Academy and Ben Erickson at South Elgin High School.
Those kids are awesome. They do some great work over there, and Ben is just an extraordinary guy, and it's really nice to have him a part of this.
He's a Larkin grad, as we know. The red carpet is always one of my favorite aspects.
The red carpet happens every year. It starts at about 6:15. We try and showcase different things that are going on around on Elgin, help give them a little more visibility, a little voice, and it really does add some excitement to our evening.
It's a theatrical production by Judy Brownfield is what it is, young man.
Judy does an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
She's works
Singer.
tirelessly. She's very involved, and she brings a level of excitement to it that's just outstanding.
So you encourage the crowd to come out and see that in the beginning right here where it would be.
Absolutely. Out here in the beginning, we'd be out here at 6:15. We encourage you to get tickets early so that you can hang out here
it's
and not have to
wonderful.
wait in line for your tickets so you can enjoy the red carpet.
You have a wonderful MC.
Mike Toomey is back again this year, WGN Morning Show. He is a very funny guy, and he's always a lot of fun to work
It's
with.
always a highlight when we see him on the red carpet because he does a couple voices for us.
He enjoys seeing you as well.
Oh, it's wonderful. He's a great talent. It's wonderfully done. So this has become such a big event. We always have a nice crowd in Hemmons, don't we?
Usually we get around 600 people or more average for the 9 years we've had out here, so it's always a nice crowd out here.
You guys are always thinking, and before we run out of time, you tie it in now with the Elgin Fringe Festival, we should say.
We work with Elgin Fringe, which is great. Last year we showed 6 films, 3 in each category, and let the audience vote who was going to make the finals out of that. And actually the winner of last year's film festival came out of audience voting and who got into the finals. So we encourage Elgin Film Fest, Fringe, and Film Fest working together.
And they watch it the week before, isn't that right?
Yes, the weekend before will be the Fringe Fest, and we will be at the Blue Box Cafe showing films during that weekend. Come out and vote for your film to make the finals.
Before we run out of time, this is so exciting. And of course, the winners get trophy and monies.
Yes, first prize is $1,000. We do have beautiful trophies that come in, and it's a really good time.
All right. And always a great event. And it brings out many folks we know, doesn't it?
Always brings out a lot of people we know, and it's really nice when we see people from other communities out here as well.
All right. It's September 23rd. We can call up Hemmons and get tickets early. Can't we?
Yes, you can call Hemmons, get tickets early, check in the box office if you're walking downtown. Stop in and grab them early. That way you don't miss the red carpet reception.
Oh, it's wonderful. September 23rd. Mark it on your calendar. Joe Vasallo, great work. This is the 9th annual event.
9th annual event, and we hope to keep it going even longer.
You're so theatrical.
I don't know about that, but thank you very much.
He's a movie in the making. We'll see you on the 23rd. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Jeff.
An exciting tour will be on tap for the annual Elgin Historic House Tour. That's put on by the Gifford Park Association. You can get information about the event in September by going on their Facebook site or by gpaelgin.org. Now let's hear from a couple of folks involved with this event.
Paul Bednar with the Gifford Park Association. I'm a board member and I'm in charge of the PR and sponsorship of this year's house tour.
You've got exciting news. It's back to a 2-day event, isn't it?
Oh, 2 full days this year. Our 36th annual Elgin Historic House Tour, September 9th and 10th. And it's 2 full days this year because we do expect bigger crowds than we have in the last number of years.
Oh, you had last year. We were there. They were lining up around the block for many of the sites.
Well, and that's typical of every year. But in last year, we went to a day and a half. Now we're back to 2 full days as we were a long time ago. In fact, I remember being in this neighborhood when we had 2 full days, and it was jam-packed that year. And yeah, we're back. We're back to this great West Side neighborhood.
And folks come from all over, not just Elgin, they come from all over the Chicago area, and Wisconsin,
sure.
everywhere.
Yeah, we have a mailing list that goes out all over the place, and there are a lot of people that come in from the Chicagoland suburbs to see Elgin at its finest.
Behind you is the beautiful McClure Mansion. Tell me about this great structure.
Right. Well, the McClure Mansion is, it's one of our featured sites on this year's tour. It's a landmark. It was built in 1891. It was at a time where Elgin was had a lot of land here on the west side, and some people with some money came out and started to build their mansions. This is one of the 2 mansions we're going to have on this year.
Tell me some of the other great homes that you have.
Well, we have the Wing Mansion coming back, and we're actually going to try something new this year to speed along the crowds a little bit where it may have been congested in the past. We're going to cut down on a number of the presentations and the wordings by showing a video beforehand of what you're going to see in the house. And we're going to try that out as an experiment on the Wing Mansion this year.
And not only is the McClure Mansion on the tour, but just around the corner, quite an additional story comes from Jennifer Fukala, also a member of the marketing team for this year's tour.
We are in front of the beautiful McClure farmhouse at 272 McClure Street. This was the home of Finla McClure. This is one of our featured stories for the house tour this year, is the McClures. We have 2 of their houses on the tour, and this house was the site of the McClure Dairy Farm. This house was built in the 1860s, and the house has been modified several times from when it was originally built, and they incorporated beautiful Italianate style elements to the way that it looks today. The McClure farm, the home of Finla McClure, the original dairy farm stretched from Lawrence Street to Highland Avenue along McClure Street, which was named for him. Finla McClure was one of the early founding families of Elgin, and he came here in 1846, and he was a very influential businessman and power player in the early dairy market in Elgin. He actually established the first milk route in Elgin. He established the first ice house in Elgin that later developed into multiple firms that supplied ice for Elgin as well as the city of Chicago that was cut right here from the Fox River.
And Jennifer also told us this tour is close to her heart because it's in her neighborhood.
The Near West neighborhood, yes. I love living here. I live on West Chicago Street. It's the oldest neighborhood on the west side of Elgin, and I'm very delighted to be involved and live in the city of Elgin, and there's so many wonderful people here. I see so much potential for the future here in Elgin.
Outside on a beautiful day, we are. Mayor David Kaplan, you've picked out a great day for it.
Well, it sure is beautiful, Jeff. And we're going to talk today with Kyla Jacobson, our utilities director at the water department. And Kyla and I go back a long ways, looking at different ends of the pipe. She was drinking water, and I handled the other end, that discharging back into the river. But I want to talk about the importance of the Fox River to the city of Elgin. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Fox River. When they came to Illinois, the pioneers came to Illinois with the Pioneer Memorial statue up here. It really kind of lends history to what the river meant to this city. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that have happened here over the last 150 years and the uses of the river. When they first came here, they used it, obviously. They had cattle, they had livestock that they watered, an entirely different time for them. And it was a critical part of their survival here, was to be able to have a water supply that they could use for their livestock and themselves. They may not have had wells at that time. They probably just went and got water out of the river for their personal use and their drinking. drinking water. And at that time, that became the roots for the city of Elgin. And as the city started to grow in the late 1800s and into the early 1900s, the uses changed. One of the uses that many people don't know about is that Elgin was used to harvest a crop off there. I guess I don't know how else to put it, but they harvested ice and sold that to the city of Chicago. There were a number of ice houses along the northern part, just above the dam and around the dam. And one of the reasons the dam was here to create a nice, stable, slow-moving water that would freeze and they could cut into blocks.
We spoke earlier in the show with Finla McClure, and that was one of his before he became a great farmer. He was farming that way.
Absolutely, and that was something that kept people going in the wintertime. They stored, obviously they didn't have refrigerators at that time, they had ice boxes.
That's right.
And that's
still ice boxes in my day, man.
Yeah, they still call them ice. Once in a while it slips out. Yeah, and they used the Fox River for ice and sold it into the city of Chicago for distribution amongst the people in the city. As time went on, we're standing on the east bank of the Fox River, and the east and west banks became mill races. Oh. And they channeled water from the river and used it to power their and use for industry and businesses in Elgin. And those have long gone now from our landscape and haven't been used since the foundry was taken down. The mill race was filled there, and the last use that for power that I can remember was the YMCA at the corner of Chicago Street. Yeah. They had a turbine that generated electricity down there, and that was probably the last electrical use that I remember. That the foundry in Elgin really used it for cooling water and for processed water for their ingots.
You know so much about the Fox. Why is Kyla with us?
Kyla's expert.
Oh, is she?
She's an expert on current and future uses for the Fox River. Now, Kyla and I both serve on a group called the Northwest Planning Association, Northwest Water Planning Association, and it involves 4 counties and literally dozens and dozens of municipalities. Mm-hmm. And our goal is to make sure that the residents in our areas have enough drinking water, and that is becoming a critical problem for us. And Kyla can talk back to the decision back in the 70s and early 80s to switch from groundwater for the city to use of the Fox River and what it's meant to our community.
We were so futuristic on that, weren't we?
We absolutely were. Elgin started using water from the river back in the 1800s, mm-hmm. and that was their drinking water source for a number of years. And then, of course, industry grew up, people were polluting it, they had to abandon that. But back in the 70s, Elgin was growing, and we decided, do we look to add more wells, or do we look to the river? And water treatment technology had come a long way, and on a controversial decision, Elgin decided to build a drinking water plant to use the Fox River as its drinking water source. And from an economic development standpoint, that was a key. Obviously, we have lots of water there that we can use for our drinking water, and as the mayor alluded, the northeastern Illinois has a problem with groundwater. There are certain parts in northeastern Illinois that in our lifetime will not have groundwater to serve their communities.
And other communities want your water. We've talked about that before.
Yes, we provide water for a couple of communities around us, and we've set aside some water, and there's been some planning for emergency water supply for people, just for the reasons that we're talking about. If they have a problem with their well, that they can tap into Elgin's water supply and a different source.
It's great. Kyla?
We are fortunate to have this as our source of water. And I was mentioning to the mayor as we were walking down here, last year we were standing by the river, different conditions, low flow, lots of other problems. This year we have abundant supply.
We are roaring this time.
We are roaring, yes. We've had plenty of rain this summer and lots of water in the river and good quality. And the water is absolutely
wonderful,
treatable, and we've had great success with having a river.
You were mentioning off air about the Fox River, and as we record this in late July, we're really seeing how much water going by every day?
There's over 5 billion gallons per day passing us. Normal flow is around 100 million, so it's a substantial amount of water.
And 300,000 carp go by. You should be able to
There are
catch
a lot. Well, there are a lot of them flying by too. But Jeff, one of the things I think that is worthy of discussion is that this, for us, Elgin uses more river water than any other community along the Fox River right now. Is a big part of our drinking water supply. So it's guaranteed us a long-term source. And obviously there's issues with it, but there are issues with all. And the people say, well, when you get this kind of rain, doesn't the water table go back up? Well, it does a little bit, but to regenerate the water that's in the deep aquifers, this doesn't help much. Mm-hmm. It's just, as you can see it going past us here, in a day, this will be in the Illinois River, heading south. And so it really doesn't recharge the water supply around us. And some of the communities in the group that we deal with are now to the point that their aquifers are gone dry, and they can't pump water out of them anymore.
But we always protected ours. And a lot of sandbag use for the other communities this time of year, isn't it?
Oh,
Sandbag,
absolutely, yes.
That's where the water stops sometimes.
That's right.
Exactly. And we in Elgin have made sandbags available for our residents as well that live along the river that may be having problems at this time.
That's great. Mayor, what else are we looking at today?
So I think that one of the things that we need to probably talk a little bit about is the future for what the river is going to mean to the city of Elgin. And back in the 50s, this community and many communities along the river turned their back on the Fox River because of the way the condition the river was in, the pollution. And now we're looking at it as we're standing along the bike path here. This now has become an amenity. It's a critical part of the future growth for the city of Elgin because it provides our drinking water. It's also going to be a great recreational facility for us for many, many years to come. And how do we make the best use of the Fox River for our community? I think that's the decision that Kyla and others, maybe not me, will make in the next decades.
Remember, we refurbished Walton Island so it wouldn't flood as much at that time. That's
Yes.
when they had the dedication of the new flag. And Doug Haift, who has a statue over there, was the main speaker. That was a big modern day moment for Walton Island, since there are two, aren't there? Islands for Walton Island?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody calls that, but there is an S on that if we want.
There are, yep. And they were man-made islands by the Isaac Walton League.
Yeah, in the
That's
30s.
how the name came. And one of the things is, nature doesn't like a vacuum, but they also don't like things shoved into the vacuum that it doesn't like. So that's why this is, you can see on days like this, this is really stressed. Yeah. And they did a great job of designing this one, and it's the islands out here become a great place for weddings. And
Oh, it is. Our own John Bortson was wet on the island. Down to about 15 seconds for you, Kyla.
We couldn't stop the flooding, but we're stopping the bank erosion.
Okay, that's a new song, I think.
Can't stop the water. It's relentless.
Where else could we have all kinds of good water stories? And this is the greatest collection of water stories we've ever had.
Thank
A lot
you.
of institutional knowledge here.
Yeah.
Jeff, really a shout out to the Elgin Classic Little League for their success this year. The young fellas did a great job. They really gave our city a proud moment. We're going to recognize them at a council meeting. We're going to have a proclamation in their honor. They did a great job. Great group of young people, and their coaches will come down to City Hall for an event. And we don't get this very often, where these things happen. And they need to get recognized for their efforts in the city for our city, and they really did us proud.
Coach Mike Orlando and son Zeke were prominent with that. They went down to Quincy and won the state championship before going up to Michigan, losing the regional. Exciting news.
It is. It's great news for the city of Elgin. They really did a great job for us.
Right, you got your baseball cap on.
That's right.
Kyla, thanks a lot. We got to scoot out of here. All right, from east of the Walton Islands. That's our segment with Kyla and with Mayor David Captain.
September is a busy month, and a relatively new event has really caught on in an entertaining way, as we hear from the technical director of the Elgin Fringe Festival, Mr. Tanner Melvin.
Opening night is Wednesday, September 13th. We're going to have our opening ceremony. We'll have the blimp raising that everyone looks forward to out to the side of the Blue Box Cafe. That's going to be at 6 o'clock. The opening event will be at Martini Room at 7 p.m. We're going to have live music, and we'll be selling buttons, and we'll be selling tickets, and it'll be the big opening night.
How many years have you been doing this now?
This will be our 4th year. right? Yeah, it's pretty intense. We've had a lot of changes in the past few years, and this year we're really streamlining things, and it's becoming, knock on wood, a little easier to manage, but we'll have to wait and see, especially with the blimp. We have no idea what's going to happen with the blimp this year. It's getting pretty banged up, so we're looking forward to it.
We saw it in the parade. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it did. We actually found, we did some minor repairs right before we left in the parade, taped it up a little bit. You know, it's older, it gets some holes in it, and with helium, it's expensive, and we try to keep it inside as much as possible. So.
Next, let's hear from the managing director of the Elgin Fringe Festival, Amanda Harris. She'll tell us about the talent coming to town and the dates it'll happen.
Starting September 13th and going through September 17th, we will have about 100 performances in about 7 different venues all over downtown Elgin. It's dance, music, theater, magic, burlesque, kind of anything you can think of, all of the undefined arts, as well as a visual art exhibit.
And we do that so well, don't we?
We do. Elgin likes that, yeah.
You've got a nice website folks can check out, don't you?
Yeah, www.elginfringefestival.com. You can see the full schedule, the map of all the venues, you can get your tickets, and preview some of the artists as well. Every show is either free, $5 or $10. You have to have your Fringe button to get in. The button is $3. Your button money goes to the Fringe to support the actual festival, and then the 100% of the ticket sales goes back to the artists, which is really, really great.
Great concept. And you've got kind of a preview. Is that right? For the week before?
The week before, yeah. So September 9th at Carlton Rogers Park, we'll be having Family Fringe. It's a free family event. We'll have some live music, we'll have some crafts, we'll have some face painting, maybe a petting zoo, fingers crossed, that kind of thing. You can preview the Fringe, get your button, get some tickets, get your t-shirt, and get some information.
Community-minded and well-known Mr. Jeff Turner, in June, was awarded with the Distinguished Service Award from the Elgin Cosmopolitan Club in ceremonies at the Elgin Country Club. Jeff will talk about that great honor in just a moment, but first, Chef Jeff is famous for his community meals, and he's added something new for us.
Jeff, I'm super excited. We have a new event to announce. It's a spin-off of our community dinners, our Thanksgiving dinner, our Have a Heart dinners. It is a community cookout. It is our first one. It is August 26th at Carlton Rogers Park. We're super excited about it. Hopefully we draw lots of people. We're having the normal crew for our Thanksgiving dinners. Ryan with Tableside Catering is my partner this time. Street tacos, we're going to do probably chicken street tacos, and then we'll have hot dogs for the kids, the whole 9 yards. We'll probably have some dessert, obviously beverages and things like that. The City of Elgin always helps us out. They're obviously graciously supplying the park for us, and they're going to take care of, as they do, all the trash, and which is a very important part because we do have a lot of trash removal when you have this amount of people. The hours are 11 to 3, which is a little bit different from our other ones. Normally they're 11 to 2. This one we're extending it an hour, so it'll go all afternoon. It'll just be a fun day for all. Anybody who wants to come. Doesn't matter how much you make, doesn't matter where you come from, everybody's invited. Bring your families, bring your neighbors, whoever wants to come. The dinners we've done, over the last 8-9 years, they've been fantastic. They've grown every year. They started off as dinners for the less fortunate, and we've evolved them over the years into, true community dinners where everybody's invited. Come share a meal with somebody you normally wouldn't share a meal with. They invigorate me. They rejuvenate me when we do these dinners. I absolutely love them. The Distinguished Service Award from the Elgin Cosmopolitan Club, truly an honor. I wasn't expecting it. What great company, the past, recipients of that award. Dr. Sam from ECC, Jack Shales, just to name a couple, Marlene Shales. It's just a incredible company to be a part of. Truly honored and blessed to be a part of that.
You can learn more about the information you saw here in Elgin today or about city services, programs, and events by going to the Elgin website at www.cityofelgin.org. And now the City of Elgin has a 311 contact center. Elgin 311. Call, click, connect by calling 311, the city's information and request resource. For everyone here at Elgin today, I'm Jeff Myers. We'll see you next time.